Well, good morning, guys. Come down to the pond this morning. We've got a lot of algae in it. We got to figure out a way to get to build it up to get rid of the algae in it. Get some grass carp. I've heard grass carp would do good on that to get it out. So we may end up doing that. They're bad about getting too many in a pond, so that I guess we could catch them and release them, catch them and release them into a frying pan. They get too much, you know, we can control them by that. But boy, that moss in there could be overpowering for the pond, the ecosystem in it. He did catch a big bass out of it last weekend. It's a bigger monster, big enough to feed a couple of people with it. So, yeah, it's out there. I've got 1 Timothy chapter 5 today, verse 6. I looked at that this morning and I thought, you know what? There's a word there that I didn't recognize. Prodigal. I've read that word before, prodigal, and I wasn't sure what that meant. So it's in today's reading. It's verse 6 of chapter 5, prodigal. And so I looked it up. It means to spend freely and foolishly, to live in pleasure. That's what that word means. So, let me get over here where I can look this over and we'll put something together. Watch out, puppers. She stops and sniffing. And when I stop, she runs into me. So think I ought to run into her. If she stops, I'll just keep, give her a little boot. Nah. Boy, it sounds nice out here, doesn't it? It's pretty out here. These trees are so neat. The way that the sun and that lightens them up in the background back here. Those redbud trees are just thick. But let's see. So here's what we got in 1 Timothy 5 and verse 6, and these references. Now I got I got 3 or 4 different translations of this verse. I wanted the differences in them. Now this is the Concordant Literal, says, "Yet she who is prodigal, though living, is dead." And so I looked that word up, and that means, you know, a squanderer, to spend freely and foolishly, or to live in pleasure. So the King James says, "She that liveth in pleasure is dead even while she liveth." The Young's Literal, "And she who is given to luxury, living, has died." And the ESV says, "But she who is self-indulgent is dead, even while she's living." The New Living Translation says, "But the widow who lives only for pleasure is spiritually dead, even while she lives." So, just kind of give you an idea what how that references out in other translations. You know, get that meaning behind that word, that verse. She who is a prodigal, though living, is dead. Now here's the references to that. "For the love of Christ is constraining us, judging this, that if one died for the sake of all, consequently all died. And he died for the sake of all, that those who are living should by no means still be living to themselves, but to the one dying, and being roused for their sakes. And you, being dead to your offenses and sins, in which you once walked, in accord with the eon of this world, in accord with the chief of the jurisdiction of the air, the spirit now operating in the sons of stubbornness. We also, being dead to the offenses and the lust, vivifies us together in Christ. In grace are you saved. Wherefore he is saying, Rouse, O drowsy one, and rise from among the dead, and Christ shall dawn upon you. Being entombed together with him in baptism, in whom you were roused together also through faith in the operation of God, who rouses him from among the dead, you also being dead to the offenses and the uncircumcision of your flesh, he vivifies us together jointly with him, dealing graciously with all our offenses. There it is. That's the references to 1 Timothy 5 verse 6. So, I won't add anything to that. We'll put that in there. Get out of sight. Yep, that's what we do. But different translations, you know. There's truth in every translation. There's truth in it. But to get it right consistently, you got to have the right translation. So that's why I go between the Young's Literal. I've got that one, the Concordant, and I've got the DeBar. I got several, but those there are pretty accurate. Those are. Boy, it turned off nice out here. Angel and I got to run back up the home front. We've been down here for a spell, and we're headed back. But it's going to be a great day. It's going to be beautiful. This is Sunday. Wow, this weekend went fast, or is going fast. It's going to be nice. So, anyway, let's go see what God's got. Y'all ready for that? I don't think I am. We'll do that. We'll talk to y'all tomorrow. See you then.